Don't say a word.
Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order, the Stanislaus Local Agency Formation Committee. I'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for a pledge allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now have the introduction of commissioners and staff, so I'll start to my left.
Amy Bublak, city member.
Jim D. Martini, county member.
Brad Hahn, public member alternate.
Pito Chiesa, board member and county member alternate.
Javier Camarena, Assistant Executive Officer.
Sarah Lytle-Penny, Executive Officer.
Alice Mims, LAFCO Council.
Jennifer Vieira, Commission Clerk.
Okay, great. We will now move to agenda item 2, public comment period. If any member of the public there would like to address this board on a non-agenda item, this would be the time to do it. I'll give you all the time you need tonight. No time limit there. If you have something you'd like to address the board on that's on the agenda, you'll have to wait till that item comes up. Anybody in the public like to make comment? It's a great opportunity for all of you out there. Okay, well, you've just let it slip away. Okay, we'll move to agenda item 3, approval of minutes. I trust everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes. Anybody have any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Move to accept.
Okay, motion's been made to accept the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's made and second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion's carried unanimously. We will now move to agenda item 4, correspondence. Sarah, do we have any specific correspondence?
Yes, you have one piece of specific correspondence in front of you. It's a letter from the City of Turlock dated October 20th, 2020, and it is in regards to item 7A.
Let me just look this over because we didn't get this ahead of time. I think the city is asking for a postponement. Huh? Okay, that's a surprise.
Me too.
Oh, Eddie.
I didn't know.
Aren't you the mayor?
I thought it was.
Well, who is this Nathan Bray? What does he do? He's the planning department?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you'll have something to say about that when this comes up.
You think?
Okay, we will, is there anything else, Sarah?
No, that was all for correspondence.
Okay, and I know there are some news items in your packet there you can take a look at. Okay, we'll move to agenda item 5, declaration of conflicts or disqualifications. Anybody want to declare a conflict? Okay, seeing none.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor. So you're just in time. Just get there. Do you have any declaration of conflict?
I have no conflicts
Okay.
here.
Okay, well then we will move to agenda item 6, the consent items. We have 2 items on the consent calendar. Does any member of this board wish to pull one of the consent items for further discussion? Any member of the audience wish to pull an item for further discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion then.
Second?
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent calendar. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes. Consent calendar is approved. Okay, we have one item from a public hearing, an out-of-service boundary application for Best RV Sitter. So Sarah?
Good evening, Javier Camarena with LAFCO. The item being discussed this evening is an out-of-boundary service application from the Keys Community Services District to provide water service to the Best RV Center, which provides RV sales and service. The site is located at 5340 Taylor Court and consists of 8 parcels. The site is located along the northeast side of Taylor Court, adjacent to Highway 99. The applicant will construct a 2-inch water line under Highway 99 that will be branched off an existing water line that's located at the corner of Barnhart Road and North Golden State Boulevard. The out-of-boundary request will accommodate an expansion and reconfiguration of the existing Best RV Center, which recently went through a rezone application with Stanislaus County. Sarah mentioned previously, staff received a correspondence from the City of Turlock regarding the proposed extension and its potential impacts, along with the CSD's capacity to serve the site. The Commission should note that the proposed connection is a 2-inch line, sized for Best RV use only, and the volume of water will be small compared to the water line it is connecting to at the corner of Barnhart and Golden State Boulevard. As lead agency, Stanislaus County adopted a CEQA determination in August of this year, which included the water extension. The KCSD has stated that it has the capacity to serve the site. And just to note, the Commission's decision for this application is limited to determining whether the CSD is authorized to serve outside of its boundaries. LAFCO Policy 15 describes a variety of situations where the Commission may favorably consider service extensions. One consideration includes situations where emergency or health-related conditions mitigate against waiting for annexation. The RV Center has utilized the well to provide water service. However, that well is currently in violation with the State Water Resources Control Board for public water service standards. Bringing the existing well into compliance would likely include a new water treatment system or drilling a new well, which is why the applicant is requesting the service extension from the KCSD. The Commission has approved similar water service extensions in the past for specific unincorporated areas, such as the one proposed. Staff believes that the project is consistent with Policy 15 and state law, and a discussion of these items can be found on page 2 of the staff report. Staff's recommendation can be found on page 3 of the staff report, which recommends approval of the out-of-boundary application. Any additional extensions outside of the proposed area would require additional LAFCO approval. This concludes my presentation, and staff is available for any questions.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
You mentioned that here at LAFCO, we are looking at the out-of-boundary legality of it, not necessarily the capacity of the system. Is that accurate?
We consider the capacity and the ability of the provider to provide the service, but that particular line was added in there in response to some of Turlock's comments regarding development standards and the location of the line itself. LAFCO would not be able to impose a condition saying that the line needs to go one way or another, or needs to be...
Or get increased, or they actually, if they even have capacity for it, because they're a jurisdiction that can raise the rates if necessary to provide that service. So that's, I think that's the difference, because LAFCO is talking just about the ability to serve outside, the legality of that, not the ability to, yeah.
As far as you know, Keys has not indicated that they could not serve this with the water capacity, as far as I can see.
Right.
Commissioner Chiesa, do you have anything that you'd like to add on this?
No, well, in talking with Ernie Garza, and Ernie, I'm surprised he's not here, but they have the new arsenic treatment well. They have the capacity to do it. The line is there at Barnhart serving the mobile home park, if you can point that out. And then Turlock will be coming for an out-of-boundary to run water north of Taylor, which is a little south of Taylor, but to the Price Ford and Price Honda, they'll be coming north. So they do have it. The applicant's going to have to pay for boring under the freeway. It's going to be borne by them. I think that it may have to be done by a public agency. I'm not sure how that actually worked out, but I know they have the capacity. So, and this only considers the parcels north of, but not including the furniture store, which is,
Woods?
what is it?
Woods?
Woods Furniture. And there's a couple parcels of south that are not included in this. So, and we've been encouraging because the RV park got water from a state grant, so they ran the line down, it was paid for, to Barnhart. And then they're not going to serve south from what I've heard. I haven't been in the discussions that Turlock was going to try and serve north to Barnhart, and they're going to serve south to Barnhart, I guess is the right thing, on the east side. And then discussions will have to occur below on the Woods Furniture, and I think there's a couple more parcels.
And Commissioner Bublock, do you have any comment to make on this?
Other than I'm completely surprised by the correspondence, yeah. I guess my concern is, one, I trust that our staff is typically, if they say that we need a little more time, I'll value that. Not knowing a tremendous amount about water, I worry that if they bore under the 99, if everything isn't the same shapes and sizes and everything, so eventually if something went wrong, how much damage would have to be when they end up having to come to our water source of SRWA at some point. So, I mean, sometimes there's different pipe sizes and things of that nature. I would hope that that's not our venue here, but I just worry for that sake. If something were to happen to the water from Keys, then what would happen?
Don't they have a well as a backup, though?
That's
I mean, that's
compromised
what-
now, right?
That's what they're operating on right now.
Well, it seems to me that this is a kind of an interim measure, and if the city grows that way, they're going to deal with hooking them up to the city water and abandoning that hookup. So, either way, I don't see them servicing it off of that location. It'd be coming from the south. If the city did it, I would assume, because you have water on that side of the freeway. So, but
Before I open this up to the public, anybody else have a comment on this?
I just have a question on timing. When did this application first come to light?
Is there a receipt date on it?
Excuse me?
It was around January?
Well, we received the out-of-boundary in September. However, the out-of-boundary is in response to a project that's been going through the county for at least 2 years, I think.
Couple of years.
It just went to the Board of Supervisors in August.
Yeah.
And then Planning Commission was a couple months prior to that.
Okay, so it was common knowledge that this was going on.
Right, and Turlock had provided comments at the time of Planning Commission that resulted in some conditions for things like landscaping and the signs, and to kind of keep it with the development standards for Turlock.
That it's not incorporated in Turlock, it's not in its...
it's not in a sphere.
It's not
It's
in
not
the
in the
sphere, but it's
sphere.
in the mile range where they accept comments for development
Right.
standards.
Okay. And this does set up for a county island as development goes that way, with Keys water being supplied and not being able to negotiate annexation when the city does eventually grow that way. I can see that as a potential, although that's not here tonight. What's here tonight is out-of-boundary service request. Thank you.
It's a unique area, and it will be back to us. we'll end up
7.5
seeing
years.
the properties in between and the additional projects on Golden State especially.
Any other commissioner have a comment before I open it up to the public? Okay, does anybody in the audience wish to comment on this item? This would be the time. You guys come up to the podium, please, and state your name for the record.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nader Ammari from Best RV Center. I just want to highlight some of the information from the questions raised by the committee. Number one, we are, for the past 3 years, in different stages trying to develop our project. Now finally we got the Planning Commission approval, the board approval, and the only thing that we need to satisfy is the water connection. We already, on all these 8 parcels, we have 3 wells that they will continue to serve our industrial need and irrigation requirement. So our connection for the water pipe, it is only for the drinking water. It's a small 2-inch pipe, and it will serve hardly 200 gallons per day, up to a maximum 500 gallons per day. So it's an insignificant consumption from the 12-inch pipe of Keys, the one we are connecting to. So it's a high capacity pipe that Keys has, and our connection, it is totally very small. And it has a very limited usage. But by satisfying this connection, we eliminate the ordinance that we have from the water authority in the county. Now, for other coordination with the city of Turlock, already during the planning as well as also now for the future construction which we started, we will coordinate with the city of Turlock for landscaping, which is going on, already almost submitted, and for the signage. So we will have this coordination, joint coordination between the county and city of Turlock to satisfy all the parties. Regarding the boundaries of future expansion, whatever comes in the future, this water line can be connected either to the city service or Keys or any other supplier. Any question?
Can I ask you a question on the going into the freeway? Originally, you were trying to do it as a private business, but then
No.
I think Keys had to contract that. That's
Yes.
correct, and that's the way it is. It's
Let
going to be
me
built.
also explain, highlight how this will go. With Keys, it will be an official submission by Keys District to Caltrans. So the approval for all the HDD line under the highway, it will be approved according to the standards of Caltrans. The execution also of the pipe will be like a public tender through Keys. We will pay for it, but it will be as a complete public tender through Keys District. So all the construction as well as design, the approval stage and construction, it is according to the standards.
And is it a slip pipe so you can pull the pipe out and
Yes,
put it back in?
it is in casing, 4-inch casing,
Okay.
and inside it, the 2-inch pipe.
And so if it breaks?
It's micro drilling.
Yeah, okay.
It will be like a curved size.
Any other questions for the applicant? Okay, just to clarify, you're still going to keep the wells operating to do your landscaping, so this is just drinking water only?
Purely only for, serving 2 bathrooms and 1 kitchen.
And that's just one specific part of the area, your
Yes.
bathrooms and
Which is the
kitchen.
existing building. Currently, you can see it also in the drawing. If it is the one behind you.
Right
No,
there?
not this one. This is the future one. This one, the existing.
Okay, that's the only place the water line goes?
Yes, correct.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Can I just comment something about the latest Turlock City letter which we received today?
Sure, I mean, you're there to comment and say whatever you like.
Thank you very much. No, but reading from the letter, they are not objecting about the project as long as we are going with option 2. And that's what we need, is the shortest distance, the 400 feet under the highway of 99. So they are saying if the approval consent is there, we can proceed. There is no further requirement because we are not going to the longer distance, which will require a larger diameter pipe with consideration for drop pressure in the line.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public wish to comment on this item? Okay, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for decision. Further comments?
So I'd like to just say again to staff here that apologize for our tardiness and our correspondence. I too was surprised by this. This fits our purview, our decision-making process here. They need water to drink, and I'm not going to vote no just to keep in correspondence with my city staff. So I would suggest and would make the motion to go ahead and approve this. Option 2.
Option 2?
Correct.
Okay, motion's been made to,
Second.
that's option 2. Okay, there is a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay. If I was the mayor of the city, I'd be wanting to talk to this guy who sent this letter tomorrow morning.
I'm doing it as we speak.
Yeah, I would even call him at his house tonight, send a letter like that. Okay, so it's public, and any other business, Sarah?
There's no other business tonight.
Okay, commissioner reports. Amy?
I have nothing now.
I'd just like to say thank you for letting me vote. It was pretty cool. You know, usually I just have to sit here.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you participate there, so I know you've been pretty good about coming to meetings. Vito, you have anything?
I've got nothing. Thanks for letting me participate too.
I have nothing.
Okay, the only comment I have, I'm sure disappointed this year that the LAFCO conference was canceled. Kind of goes along with everything else. Everything in my district was canceled this year, and I just heard all the Veterans Day events were also canceled. So this year was what I call the year that didn't happen. Everything in my district was canceled: the Apricot Fiesta, the Inland Fall Festival, the Ceres Street Fair, along with the county fair and about everything else that kind of makes this county what it is. So I was really very sorry to see the LAFCO conference canceled there. I always enjoyed those, and this year was going to be in Monterey, so it's a real disappointment that it didn't happen this year. Okay, we'll now go to agenda item 10, and I have no additional matters that I have tonight. So we will now go to agenda item 7, the executive officer's report.
Yep. Just a quick update for the commission. Cal LAFCO, although they didn't have their conference, they did hold their election for board members. For the central region, you had an incumbent, Gay Jones from Sacramento LAFCO, who was elected, and then a newcomer for Cal LAFCO, Darren McDaniel from Merced LAFCO. He's a board supervisor in Merced. Upcoming items for December, we have an annexation to the Keys Community Service District, and we'll also be sharing our work program for 2021. It's already looking like it's going to be a busy year. Other things that we have on the horizon, we still have the application from the county for a county service area in Salida. The Public Works Department's working on some revisions that they'll be getting to us soon, so hopefully we can schedule that. And then we're still expecting an application from the city of Newman to modify their Northwest Newman annexation that had failed election. They're looking to come back to us after working out some issues with the Central California Irrigation District. So hopefully we'll be seeing that soon as well. And that's all I have.
Yeah, I think when that application comes to this board, I won't be here, but I would be looking very closely to be sure no islands are created. Okay, so we will now adjourn the meeting, and our next meeting will be December 2nd. So thank you for coming. Being no further business, this meeting stands adjourned.